Hello, everyone. Welcome back again. This time we're having vocabulary, and this is Unit 8. Here we go. The first word we have today is clatter. Clatter. Example: the old trains clatter down the tracks. The old trains clatter down the tracks. Yes, a train in the past used to make a noisy sound like this. So the word means to make short, sharp sounds like that one produced by the train. The word can also be used as a noun. Look at this example. The clatter of factory machines can be quite loud. The clatter of factory machines can be quite loud, like this factory machines. In the factory, this machine is very noisy. It sounds like this. Stop! What a noisy machine that is. So the word as a noun means a hard, rattling, or noisy sound like this machine. Hard, rattling, noisy sound. A synonym of that word is rattle. Rattle. Let's move on. The second word we have today is awkward. Awkward. Example: when you first learn to do something like to dance or to play football or whatever, your movements may be awkward. Your movements may not be that perfect. So they are awkward. So the word awkward here as an adjective means not skillful. Not skillful. Again, when you learn to do something from the very beginning, like learning to swim for the first time, your movements can be described as awkward because they are not skillful. The word awkward has another meaning. Look at this example. The police asked some awkward questions about where the money had come from. Imagine that you are asked by a policeman about the money you're having in your hands. Where did you get that from? Is this a good question? Is it an easy question or an embarrassing one? Yes, an awkward question is an embarrassing question, or an awkward situation is an embarrassing situation. The word is an adjective, as you can see. A synonym of that word is clumsy. Clumsy. And the opposite or the antonym of that word is skillful. Let's move on. The next word is gallant. Gallant. This word can be used as an adjective and as a noun. As an adjective, that wasn't very gallant of you, pushing a young lady out of the way like that. If you see a person or a man pushing a lady, is this a gentle action of him? Is this a kind action? Yes, it is not kind. It is not gallant. It is not gentle. So the word gallant as an adjective means polite and kind, especially towards women. And also it means brave. Look at this example. Here the word is used as a noun, not as an adjective. The main character was married to a wealthy gallant or a wealthy gland because this word as a noun can be said in two different ways, and the two ways are correct. If you say it gland, this is correct. If you say it gallant, this is also correct, but only as a noun. Again, we are reading a story or a novel, and we have the main character, which is a girl, and she was married to a wealthy gallant or a wealthy gland. So this person that we're talking about here, or the gland, is a fashionable gentleman, a person who is wealthy, a person who looks smart. A synonym of that word is gentle or dashing, which means brave. An antonym of that word is cowardly. Cowardly. Let's move on. Lukewarm. Lukewarm. Example: a lukewarm shower is neither hot nor cold, which is going to be a good one. So a lukewarm shower is not hot, not cold. So the word as an adjective means moderately warm, not very hot, not very cold. Another example: I hate drinking lukewarm coffee. I hate drinking lukewarm coffee. Many people love to drink hot coffee because it's a hot drink. So lukewarm coffee is not going to be good for them. A synonym of that word is tepid. Tepid, which means almost the same meaning, not hot, not cold. And the antonym or the opposite is hot. Let's move on. Plentiful. Plentiful. Example: flowers are plentiful in springtime. How many flowers do you see during the springtime? One or two or three or many of them? Of course, we see many of them. So this is what we call plentiful. They are plentiful in springtime. So plentiful means many or in great supply or more than enough. Another example: if you have more than enough of something, you have a plentiful amount of it. A synonym of that word is abundant. The antonym is rare. Let's move on. Ration. Ration. This word can be used as a noun and it can be used as a verb. Look at this example. A measured portion of food is called ration. A measured portion of food. For example, if we are having a party in our class and we have got a big cake for everyone in the class, so what are you going to eat? You will eat the whole cake or you will eat only your ration, your share. Yes, exactly. You will eat your ration or your share. So the word means a portion or share of food. As a noun, the word means a share of food. As a verb, let's look at this example. When water is scarce, that means not found in large amounts. When water is scarce, people must ration it, must use it wisely. Look at this meaning. The word as a verb means to pass out in limited amounts or to limit the amount of a particular thing that someone is allowed to have or use. So we have to ration the water if it is scarce. A synonym of that word is share or divide. Let's move on. The next word is reserve. Reserve. This word can be used as a verb and it can be used as a noun. As a verb: please reserve a seat for me. You arrived at a place before me, like a stadium or like a cinema, and I wanted you to reserve a seat for me, to keep it for me, to hold it back for me, to set it aside for me. As a noun, the squirrel dug up its reserve of nuts. You know that the squirrel, like many other creatures, keeps storing food during the summertime to be used during winter time, and this is one of these creatures. So here the word reserve is used as a noun. It means something set aside for a certain purpose or for the future. A good synonym for that word is store, and the antonym is waste and use. Oh, this time you're having a word that you already know. Say the word with me: scholar. Scholar. You took this word in the reading selection, Seeker of Knowledge. The book was written by a respected scholar, a respected person who is well educated, who is learned. Look at the second example. Champollion met a French scholar and asked him about ancient Egypt. This example is taken from your reading selection. So the word scholar means a learned person or an expert in the field of study or a person who has done advanced study. A synonym of that word is professor. Professor. Smolder. Smolder. This word is a verb, but it can be used in two different areas. Look at the first example. The remains of the campfire smoldered. Smoldered. Look at this fire. Do you see any flames? No. What we can see is only smoke. So this is the campfire smoldering after we left the spot or the campsite. Look at the second example. Her eyes smoldered with anger. Her eyes smoldered with anger. Here in this example, the girl doesn't show fire in the eyes. No. Here the word doesn't mean burn. No, it means to show hidden feelings. You are having hidden emotions, strong emotions, and you are trying to hide them. Look at the meaning. Burn with smoke, without flames. This is the first example. Look at the second meaning used in the second example. To hide strong emotions such as anger. A synonym of that word is fume. Fume. And the opposite or the antonym is explode. Trudge. Trudge. Another word that can be used as a noun and as a verb. Look at this example. It's a very easy word. At the end of the long day, workers trudge home. They walk back home. But what kind of walk it is after a long day of working? Yes, it is walking slowly, yes. So trudge here means to walk slowly because you are tired. As a noun, if I miss the bus, it's a 2-mile trudge to school. So you have to wake early so you don't miss the bus. Or it's going to be a long trudge or a long, tiring walk. A synonym of that word is to plod, which means to walk slowly. The antonym is to race or to run or to hurry. Volunteer. Volunteer. A volunteer visits a hospital patient. A volunteer or a person who chooses to go and do something to help people for no money without getting paid. A person who chooses to join or do a service without pay. This is a volunteer. As a noun, the word means a person who does something without getting paid for it. Another example here, this time the word is used as a verb. Who will volunteer to set the table? Maybe this question is asked by a mother who is ready with the dinner and she asked her children, who will volunteer to set the table? So she means what? She needs someone to offer the service, to do it freely, to help, right? So this is to volunteer. Again, who will volunteer to set the table? And unfortunately, all the children said, not me. They are not polite enough. A synonym for that word is enlist. An antonym is employee. The last word we're having in this unit, weary. Weary. When I have to do a boring task, I become weary. If I gave you a boring task, what are you going to feel? You will feel tired. You will feel bored. You will have no patience for it. This is the word as an adjective. As a verb, a dull speech or a long, boring speech may weary an audience, may weary the listeners, the people who are listening to it. So here the word as a verb means to make tired, to make a person tired. A synonym of that word is exhausted. Exhausted, which means very, very tired. And an antonym is energetic. Energetic. Thank you so much. See you next time.